In the 2006, the company Leapfrog released a game console for little kids to play on the go. This was a very primitive educational system that I remember seeing on the store shelves and actually wanting, because I thought game systems were cool, even if, it was pointless, since at that point I already had a DS, which was way better. But yeah, the Leapfrog had a bunch of games from all your favorite characters. It would have characters like SpongeBob or Dora the Explorer, and it had a touchscreen, where you basically played Flash games, but it was on the go. So essentially you were buying a console that can do what people can do on a computer for essentially free, since the animations are pretty crappy and the gameplay is pretty minimalist. I'll be honest, you're better playing a 90s edutainment game than a lot of these games. Released in 2007, Sonic X was released for the Leapster, based off the anime of the same name. And if you somehow don't know, Sonic X was an anime released in the 2000s. It's the reason why the Sonic voice actors swapped, because they wanted to be like the anime. It did very well in America, but failed in Japan, which is why it only lasted 3 seasons. I still think it's one of the best Sonic TV shows. Man, if they still haven't got Sonic TV right, Sonic Prime Such was a disappointment. It wasn't bad per se, but please, Sega, why can't you make a TV show based off the comics? Like an IDW adaptation would be great. The comics can get these characters done, and they continue forever, basically. I would love a Sonic TV show like that. Please. I don't want to cross over multiverse stuff. I just want a basic Sonic TV show in the vein of the IDW comics. It doesn't even have to be the same thing, but in the vein, alright? Please give it to us. We need it. Much like the Leapfrog games, this one features bad flash animation, and it looks terrible. And strangely enough, your in-game play is Sonic 3 sprites. Why is a Sonic 3 sprite for a Sonic X? I guess they were lazy. The plot of the game is also pretty bad. Chris Thornton explains to the audience that he's Sonic's best friend, which is not true, because that would be Tails, so stop lying, Chris. Eggman overhears this and gets mad that everyone talks about Sonic, so he sucks everyone up because he's mad that everyone talks about Sonic. What a weird reason to do that. Eggman then stops Sonic from saving his friends with math robots. Yeah, math robots. I guess he thinks Sonic's really bad at math. And I guess he is, because instead of dealing with the math robot, Sonic just runs away to the mountains and to the fields and the city. I have no idea what's going on there. The gameplay of Sonic X on the Leapster is pretty bare bones. You move around at a pretty slow pace. I mean, it's not as bad as some other Sonic games, like Sonic Jam with a Gamecom, which is pretty awful. But here, all you really do is collect coins, and they'll give you a question. The questions aren't even really something you need to answer, because they literally say, find this number, and they act like it's like an equation, but it's really not, because you just run over to the right, and you'll find it immediately. For example, if you hit a question mark, it will say, find this number. It'll say out loud, and you move to the right, which is what you always do, and what happens when you move to the right? You find it immediately. Yeah, and the robots, you just hit them, I guess. It doesn't really matter, because, like I said, you already found the number. They were stopping you, because you had to jump over the number purposely. They want them to stop you. So that's pretty stupid. Though eventually you will be captured and have to actually solve a math question. Of course, this was made for very young audiences, because these math questions aren't even good. I mean, I know it's kind of hard to make learning fun in games, but they really didn't try here. It's so bare bones. So essentially, you're doing the world's easiest math and the world's easiest platforming. So this was obviously aimed at a really young audience. Like, even ones that I don't even know if they'll be able to use a game controller, to be honest. That's how low this game really is aiming for. Which is a shame, since I don't know if Sonic was even aimed at that low an audience, but young an audience, I should say. Maybe it is, but who knows. And really, this is all you do in the level. There is really nothing else. Essentially, you'll be picked up by a robot and make you do a slightly harder math equation, and then eventually the level ends after like feels like 20 minutes of running around. And when you beat one of these levels, you get a Chaos Emerald. I don't know why you need them, but I guess you're collecting it, because Sonic doesn't know how to destroy robots, apparently. Even though he does it all the time. Though you can change levels, like Station Square, you can go to the jungle, where you can do exactly the same thing you were doing before, except in a jungle. The minigame here at least is different. Here we gotta circle math robots with the cursor. Okay. And pretty much that's all you do. You just use the cursor to circle around these guys. Nothing more than that. Though at least when you're done this world, you actually get to do something, which is go past a checkpoint and save Tails. Nothing happened in Station Square 1, so it's nice that we are saving Tails, at least. The next of the 4 worlds is, I guess, one of Eggman's space stations, where, you guessed it, you're slowly running around, answering pretty basic math questions that could be answered just by running to the right. The next minigame is just click on one of the math robots. I don't even know what they're supposed to be, like the weird bug-eyed birds? Like, what the hell even is that sprite? You just click on it, and that's about it. Pretty basic. Anyway, once you get past this area, we get to save Amy, which is nice. She actually has a brand new sprite that actually looks pretty good. I don't know why they couldn't do that for the other characters, but oh well. So you get all the 7 Chaos Emeralds, which do nothing. Eggman then cries because I guess you beat him for the power of math, and that's it. We don't even get a cutscene of saving Chris until the very end, just randomly there. Sonic again gives really great advice for the audience, so let's hear it.
So remember, kids, don't use robots in a math contest against hedgehogs.
Oh, and when I said there was 4 worlds, I lied, there's only 3. Sonic X and the Leapster really wasn't aiming high. It's the only Sonic X game that exists from what I'm aware, other than having a little cameo in Sonic Adventure DX. It's not what you expected if you're a Sonic X fan. It's just, you know, math. Not very good math at that. The game is very bare bones, like I've mentioned multiple times, because I'm very repetitive. It doesn't have a lot of great art sprite work, since it's mostly your copied and paste from Sonic 3 of all games. Which I do like that sprite, but like, come on. You're supposed to be modern Sonic here. Sonic X Sonic at that. If this is your first Sonic game, well, I feel pretty bad for you, because this is not very good. It's not even good at math. It's really basic, and even then I think you'd be better off doing pretty much any other math game in existence. This one's just not very good at what it wants to do. So yeah, that was Sonic X for the Leapster. Thank you for watching. Where's it gonna go on the tier list? I'm not gonna put it on the tier list, because fuck it, I don't have any desire to do it. So yeah, this is a part where I usually showcase price sharding and other things, but there's literally no price sharding for this game, because it doesn't appear, and I'm not putting it on the tier list, so this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and next time, whenever I do the next Sonic video, actually we'll be covering a pretty interesting crossover with a famous mustached man, so I'll see you then.